We Geek podcast. Today is Wednesday, August 11th, 2017, in case you forgot the year.
10th.
Yeah, you listen to We Geek podcast on the N.FM. My name is Adam, joined by my good friend Logan.
Hello.
And yeah, I mean, we don't have much to talk about this week when it comes to news, but there are some pretty big things. And I think there's a Star Wars trailer tomorrow.
Oh yeah, Thursday. Yeah, during the Olympics. That's right.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Oh yeah. But yeah, man, I just got some questions about wrestling and some other little tidbits here and there. So it should be a good show anyway. But yeah, it's a little bit lighter, and I think it's because we came out of Comic-Con and all these huge conventions, and it's right at the end of summer.
Yeah.
So just a few more weeks, and what we have Gamescom or
TGS.
TGS, that's it. Yeah. So we'll get some news out of that, and I think next month, and we'll get into it, but Sony. It's kind of official with their Neo, so it looks like about a month or so. That's when a lot of news is going to be coming out, video game wise. But man, how's your week been?
Same old work and stuff, and work and other stuff. I didn't really get to play. Like, I've been playing a lot of Forza Horizon 2 lately. Like, I was looking for a good racing game, and I picked up Dirt Rally and played. By picked up, I mean got from GameFly. And I played Rally, and I was like, all right, this is cool, but like I wanted variety, I don't know, and so I was like, all right, let me try Horizon 2, and I just can't put it down.
Oh,
and
really?
Like now all of a sudden I'm like, all right, now I have to go tomorrow and pre-order Horizon 3 because it's out later this year, and it looked awesome at E3, and that was kind of where this started. Was like when I saw that at E3, I was like, you know what? I haven't played a solid racing game in a long time. I think Grid 2 was the last, another Codemasters game, was like the last good racing game that I had played. So I was like, I need to find another one. And so I went back to Codemasters because they did Dirt. And I was like, all right, I'll try this. And I was like, this is fun, but I needed more than just Rally. And so I picked up Horizon 2, and I was like, damn, this is so much fun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, see, I never really got into racing games. I don't know why. I can't. I mean, it's been years since I played one. And I does Mario Kart count, or is that more of like that's a kart game? That's not a racing game, right?
I'll allow it.
Yeah. That's about as fun as I get with racing games. But yeah, dude, I haven't really played much. Like I said last week, I have Pokemon. I've been kind of diving back into, so that's been fun. I did play some No Man's Sky. For about 2 hours, and I'll talk about that later.
This was before the servers crashed?
I guess. Did the servers? I didn't even realize that the servers go down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, go figure. Like this, every large game that comes out that's like, we rely on servers, they're gonna crash.
Yeah, no, I mean, I played it a little bit. I guess it was like super early this morning. It was my birthday earlier this week, so
yeah. How about that? Happy birthday!
Thank you. Yeah, it unfortunately fell on like these last 2 weeks is the transition from my old schedule to my new schedule, and it just so happens for 2 weeks I have one day off. It was my birthday, so that was kind of cool. But at the same time, it's like it was up against work and then work the next day, and I was just like, back at it again. But it was fun. So I did a whole bunch of birthday stuff. During that time, I'm not really playing anything or whatever. But over the last week or so, I've been watching a lot of wrestling, like behind the scenes, kind of like their documentaries on the WWE Network and that What Culture site, YouTube channel you told me about.
Yeah, see?
A lot of stuff.
That's what happens. You start falling down those rabbit holes.
Yeah, I fell pretty far down. I'm like, oh, okay. So you see the Monday Night Wars and all that stuff, and that's when I watched it. And then it's the stuff that I didn't see that I was kind of really interested in, because it was like that whole time period that I just fell off and didn't know anything. The whole like Randy Orton, all that other stuff. Like that's when I fell off. CM Punk.
Yeah.
And it was just interesting seeing that whole gap that I didn't see. And now coming back, so that was interesting. But yeah, looking forward to a few days off this week, so I'm probably going to spend I'm going over to this place called the Island and hang out. But other than that, probably gonna jump into some more No Man's Sky because it's really fun. Like if you like exploring and finding creatures and plants and collecting stuff, it's that's exactly what it is. So if you set your expectations that high, you'll love it.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's really fun. It's definitely scratched that itch of, hey, I want to go out and explore and collect things, and oh, now I got this. I can modify my laser gun. Oh, now I can modify my ship. And oh, now I can leave the planet. And oh, now I can do this, and I don't have to worry about other people. Perfect game for you. Perfect game for you. But yeah, I'll talk about more about that in a little bit. But yeah, man, that's been my week. Uh, but let's get into it. There's a little bit of movie news now. I did you see the Bad Santa trailer?
I did. Yeah.
What'd you think?
It looked like Bad Santa.
It definitely looked. I didn't know Christina Hendricks was in it.
Apparently. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, no, it looks more like a lot of just Bad Santa.
Yeah.
so
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah, so I don't know. I like the first one. I'll probably wait for Blu-ray for that one. What about? See, I didn't see the Resident Evil trailer. Tell me about it.
It's, hey, look, it's Alice, and she shoots things that aren't in the video games, and this is the last one. The end. Like,
Do you really think it's the last one?
well, that's how they're billing it. They're like, oh no, that's what they're calling it. It's Resident Evil, the final chapter. Like and the trailer is like, this is the end of my story and so on, which is great because I want the movie side of this franchise to die in flames because it's been terrible.
Wasn't there the final chapter for Friday the 13th?
Yeah, but I wish that was a worse argument than it was. 'Cause, yeah, they did the final Friday, but then they were like, well, look, wait, let's do more, and everybody went, yeah, because there's like not really a mythology here.
Right.
Like that was an era where you could do that and nobody would freak out because all these things went kind of straight to video and nobody really cared.
Well, what I'm thinking is, yes, this obviously could be the very last one, or this is just the last one in this continuity. Because I mean, look at the video game series. Apparently, this new one's going to be like a reboot of sorts for the video games. Why not have a reboot of sorts for the movies? I'd actually go see a really well-made Resident Evil movie, not the stuff they've been doing.
I I would just rather they not.
No?
I would rather Capcom stop trying to license this stuff. I want them. What's going on with Resident Evil 7 looks good because it looks creepy and it looks like a horror game. It looks like they're finally learning a lesson. It may be too late to save Mega Man Legends 3, but they're learning something. So let them learn from all of that and stop making these god awful movies. They're terrible and they need to stop.
What if they said, next Resident Evil movie, we got James Wan, he's writing and directing, it's going to be a small picture, it's going to be about the mansion, and it's going to be about one night. And it's going to be more of an intimate story. Come on. You got me with that. I got me, I guess, with that. But I'm just saying, something like that, if they did something like that, that'd be totally cool.
I think if they found a way to go back, because I keep thinking like it's gonna wind up like Doom, where it was. I'm serious, like where it stops being about the creepiness and like, oh, here are these monsters and now we have these different guns, and like they lose the idea of it being scary. If they can do if they could do an actual horror version of Resident Evil, I'm in, absolutely. But
right,
I don't.
That's what I mean, I guess. Instead of like an action.
Right, but I don't see it happening because they didn't have a clue how to work this franchise from the beginning, and I don't see them having an idea of how to do it again a second time around.
Right.
I don't have that. I don't have that faith in any production company not to look at this and say, well, the last one's kind of made some money, so let's do. No, stop. These should not. No, just no.
Yeah. I guess I'm just not that. I'm not. I don't have a personal thing about Resident Evil, so
Well, I mean, my thing isn't like, I mean, yeah, I'm mad because they're nothing like the games, but my biggest part is that the movies just sucked.
right,
I
right,
mean,
right.
take away any licensing or previous property, they're just bad movies.
Hmm.
And they've
Yeah,
made 46 of them, and I'm just tired of them. It's like the Underworld movies. They're the same movies with different monsters.
right,
Like, we have this already. Can we please just move on?
right.
Ugh.
Oh yeah. What about Dunkirk? Did you see the trailer for that?
That could be interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't really say or show much. It's just like, oh
Yeah,
yep,
yeah,
a World War II movie.
it's pretty vague. It's like, here's a bunch of soldiers, and now they're in a boat, uh, and now they're gonna bomb the boat. Coming
Yeah,
soon. Like, that's kind of the trailer.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It didn't really. It just made like I like the idea of a Christopher Nolan war film. Um, it's kind of neat. Because I think it'd be done well if that makes sense.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with that.
yeah. And so it didn't show much in so I don't know. Definitely made me go Wikipedia like all about it afterwards, which was pretty cool. So
Yeah, it's a tremendous story.
yeah,
It's one
yeah.
of those I'm amazed hasn't been done as a big movie like recently.
Mhm. Yep. So yeah, it's yeah, it looks cool. It's definitely the best trailer out of those that I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, can't wait for Star Wars on Thursday. It's gonna play during the Olympics, right?
Yeah, and it's a new TV spot, so we'll see.
A TV. See, I don't want it to be a TV spot. I want it to be like a full trailer.
Well, I doubt they're gonna do like what they did during the NFL, where like they took a break from a game at halftime and set it up in the studio, like, and now the trailer for Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Yeah, I mean they're saying it's a trailer, right? Though they're not saying it's like a TV spot. We haven't
I,
actually even gotten a full trailer for.
yeah, we have.
We've gotten a teaser, I thought.
No, we got a trailer.
You're sure it's not Rogue One teaser trailer?
No, I'm pretty sure that was a trailer.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we got a teaser, yeah, but then I'm pretty sure we got a trailer.
Okay, so this is considered. Would it be like trailer number 2, I guess?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, no, see, everything I'm looking at is calling it a teaser trailer.
Really? Because it was like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, Rogue One, a Star Wars story, official teaser trailer from Star Wars YouTube channel. I don't know.
I mean, that's a hell of a long how? I mean, that means the trailer's going to be 5 minutes if they consider that a teaser.
Well, isn't that what happened with I mean, like when Star Wars Episode 7? No, it was like a minute at least.
It was what the teaser was. What was it? 88 seconds or something, or 68 seconds? It was some odd number
Right,
that they were
right.
like really proud of. Like, it's exactly this much footage.
Yeah, no, okay. So 4 months ago, when the Star Wars Rogue One Star Wars story official teaser trailer, it's called.
Yeah, but I really feel like we've gotten one since
Oh,
then.
okay. You know what? Well, no, I don't know.
No,
That is,
I know we've gotten one since then. I know we have.
I mean, all the other websites say it's a trailer, like fresh movie trailers, but Star Wars' YouTube channel says Rogue One, a Star Wars story official teaser trailer.
It's like but it is like 2 minutes, right?
But it's a minute and 58 seconds. But if you think about it, it's a bunch of really fast clips. There's no story except for, you did bad things. Now we're going to use you. Now you can make a difference. But there's zero. I don't know.
Yeah, but what does that say about where we are in what we think of as a trailer, where we're like, hey, look, this didn't explain the entire plot and include scenes that gave away the ending, so it must not be a
Right.
trailer.
Don't get me wrong. I don't want to know anything else.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm completely on board with you there. But like, it was just a bunch of fast clips, and like Forrest Whitaker going, "What will you become?" And then that's it. and then it shows the AT-AT, the AT-ATs, and that's it.
But
So
I
I
mean,
think this is like the official one,
I don't know, because I mean, we've had a handful of TV spots since then, though.
right?
We've
No, yeah. There's
we've seen a lot of footage, really.
And then they had the behind the scenes one.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe
It's,
I'm probably wrong. It's probably somewhere there, but that's what I'm seeing from StarWars.com.
well, I mean, if they call it a teaser, then I guess technically it's a teaser. But like, if
Yeah,
that,
because that's what when I was listening to people talk about, like, it's gonna be on Thursday, the first official trailer, and I was like, oh, and that's when it set me back. I was like, maybe it was just a teaser before. So that's the only reason why I said that.
yeah, I'm still gonna call it trailer number 2 because
Yeah.
that first one to me was a trailer. It wasn't a teaser.
Right. No, I agree completely. Oh yeah, can't wait. Since do you think they really should time these a little bit better so that like we could get Star Wars Episode 8 teaser before Rogue One, like when you go and see it?
Well, they could still do that.
That's what I mean. Like they
Yeah.
really got to plan that.
Well, because I mean, filming on 8 is done.
Yeah, it should be done. They should have a trailer ready
Yeah.
by the time this comes out so that we can get just a tease, and it's like, all right, that was awesome. Now we're going in to see Rogue One.
Right.
Yeah, or even at the end, like switch it up, put it at the credits, put the entire stay after the credits to watch the trailer for Episode 8. Now that's gonna keep people in their seats.
That would be different. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I think that'd be great. But yeah. All right. Well, we went through enough trailers. Go ahead and take the next one.
Yeah. They Warner Brothers officially confirmed a sequel for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. But more because we kind of already knew that. But the real news is they announced a release date for November 16th, 2018. Yeah, they announced this was going to be a trilogy. So the big news here isn't that there's going to be another. It's that, hey, here's the date for the next one.
Now I saw that they're going to release the scripts as a book for this movie. Correct?
I don't know.
Yeah, kind of like how I guess they did the scripts for the play.
Oh yeah. I had seen that. Yeah.
Just so it doesn't confuse anyone else.
Right.
Imagine working at a bookstore. Because, I mean, take me for example. Don't know much about that. You knew it, obviously, but
right,
that's why, like last week or whatever, I was like, oh, it was actual scripts. Imagine just the regular casual Harry Potter fan, like, oh, there's another book out, goes to the store, buys it, goes home, and they're reading a script.
Well, two things. One, it wouldn't kill people to read more scripts, because then they could see actual structure instead of just a direct translation from novel to screen. But also, it's still the next story in the series.
Right, but imagine how just that's got to be that's got to shock you for a second, right?
Right, and then you get over it and you get into the story.
Right. Just curious if that had to have been a thing, right? Like people walked in and
I imagine it was.
Yeah. But all right, so some other crazy news. I guess Elder Scrolls Bethesda Vice President Peter Hines joked about Elder Scrolls films, saying that it might happen if Peter Jackson wanted to do it.
Yeah, basically, he was given an interview with something from Australia, and because I don't remember, it might have been like Variety Australia or something, and they asked him, what would it, they were talking about video game movies and so on, and he said, look, I don't know, studios don't have a lot of control over it, so we'd be really hesitant about it, blah 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 blah, and somebody said, so would somebody from Bethesda have to come out and just say, I'm going to do it, and that would be how it would happen? And he said, I don't know, like, if Peter Jackson just walked up to the office and said, I'd like to do an Elder Scrolls movie, then we'd have to talk about it.
Right, exactly. That would be awesome.
Yeah, but so that's not going to happen.
Right. If they came out one day and said that, I'd be like, all right, yep, on board.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Makes sense. Oh, yeah. All right. We got some Friday the 13th news?
Yeah, Breck Eisner, who directed The Last Witch Hunter, if I remember right, is the next unfortunate soul rumored to be attached to this project.
I never saw the last one. That was that movie that Vin Diesel bombed, right?
Yes. Yes? Yes.
The last one. Just so in 10
Yes.
years from now he can do a Last Witch Hunter 2.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Oh man, that Triple X trailer was just garbage.
It's like, why are we going back to this? Why?
Skiing through the jungle just makes no sense. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, we got Chronicles of Narnia, TriStar Pictures, E1, and the Mark Gordon Company to co-produce The Silver Chair.
Yeah, the next film in the series, which is going to be a reboot for the series, except it's a sequel because nobody can keep the timeline of the Chronicles of Narnia straight.
Right.
So instead of trying to start over, they're like, hey, we're going to do the next book. And everybody's like, why? This series has been dead for 10 years.
Right.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah. I mean, they could
just
reboot the series. I don't know. I never read the book, so I don't know what this book is about. But tell the same kind of story. Have a new cast. Don't explain anything. Just go in.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Make it easy for new people, and I don't know. Yeah. I'm looking over the Wikipedia and it's just not really explaining. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought the first one was kind of cool.
I mean, the first one was fine, and then they did just kind of go skidding downhill from there.
Yeah, I don't think I saw the other ones. I think maybe I did one random Saturday and it was on some channel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't tell you.
And it was like, oh hey, this all looks like generic young adult fantasy, whatever. Like,
right. There's a lion. Yeah.
Right.
That's all I remember is the lion, and every time they went in it, like the world aged like 100 years or something.
Yeah.
It'd be a weird thing, like, hey, I'll be back. Everyone you know is dead. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh well.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Is it Ni no Kuni? I think something like that happens. Like it's like 100 years later in that world, and someone else goes into it. I think. I don't know. It's kind of the same concept.
Right.
Like Ni no Kuni's pretty much the same thing, just a JRPG.
Right.
Oh man, I can't wait for that game to come out. The sequel. So I can unplug my PlayStation 3, play the new one on that.
Right.
Well, I think that's it for movie news.
Did you see The Rock had a little smack to talk about some of the people on Fast 8?
No, what did he say?
Yeah. He was not all that thrilled with a handful of unnamed male co-stars.
Unnamed male co-stars.
Yeah, he made a point, now that I guess filming is wrapped or something, made a point to talk about how certain people were awesome, and there were a handful of some of the male actors who were gentlemen and had class, and a couple of them were just a bunch of candy asses. and it was great. He said he said you'll see in the film some scenes where I'm not acting, where I'm upset and my blood's boiling, and he said that was not cool. I was like, wow, all right, damn.
Yeah. So was it just a shoot or something?
I don't know. Like he didn't name names or anything, but I mean, it seemed like it seemed legit. Like it wasn't like him just joking around having a good time. He was saying, this was awesome, except for this handful of jabronis here that just kind of almost ruined everything.
Oh wow!
The way
you think he was talking about Vin Diesel?
I don't know. Most of these are scary dudes that I don't want mad at me, so I'm not gonna talk a lot of smack about them because I'm not built like The Rock. But
hold on. From this just in from the Daily Mail.
Yeah, well, from the Daily Mail.
It says, well, he didn't name names. Productions insiders now say the guys are very annoyed, especially as there are still a week and a half to go in filming.
Oh, so it's not done. Oh
Yeah,
boy.
TMZ reports that the male stars of the show are pissed at Dwayne for calling them out. So now they are all suspects as filming resumes. Yeah, I didn't see that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's just not just a bunch of egos and I don't know. There's apparently been clash of extreme egos, biggest male. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's Tyrese, maybe it's Ludacris, maybe it's Vin Diesel. I'm just man. Now we're gonna be watching.
I
It
mean,
might just be to get people talking about the film.
but I don't think so though, because that's
No.
not The Rock's publicity style. Like he'll be the one front and center, like talking about how good it is. Like he hypes up movies. He doesn't try to create controversy where there isn't any.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Okay. TMZ reports that Dwayne Johnson was in fact in a beef with Vin Diesel, who is not only the star of Fast and Furious movies but also the franchise producers. Yeah. Well, I bet he gets written out soon.
Yeah.
Which would be stupid because he's a huge draw. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. I mean, he was one of the reasons why that franchise just took off into outer space.
Big time.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Scott Eastwood's in it. Jason Statham. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's got a bizarre cast. Like that whole cast they've got put together is just weird.
It really is. Yeah, man.
I mean,
He's got so many films coming out.
right? I mean, yay. Because he's doing this, he's doing Baywatch, he's doing Jumanji, he's doing
Shazam.
He's doing yeah, that's right. He's gonna be Black Adam.
Doc Savage.
He's doing Doc Savage.
San Andreas 2.
You're right. He's
His
also
show Ballers.
That's it. I mean, like I don't know where he finds the time, man. I really don't. Because that's such a huge workload.
He's got 4 films coming out 2017.
God.
He had 4, 5. He had 1, 2. He had 3 this year and a TV show.
Yeah.
No, okay, I guess WrestleMania that doesn't count. Yeah.
No, that's he popped in, he took off his pants, he did a rock bottom, then he left. Like, I mean, that was the extent of his WrestleMania.
I'm excited to see him this year.
I'm not.
That's gonna be fun. But to be there to see him, I mean, that's gonna be cool. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I've never been in the same room as The Rock. That's gonna be awesome.
Well, that's you're sitting in a stadium. That's a little...
it still counts, right? You're still in the same vicinity.
It's a big room.
Oh, but come on, man! It's WrestleMania. I want to do that. Because I want to have that story where like, oh yeah, I went to WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, I was there for that. Yeah, those are always the best stories where somebody talks about something and you're like, yeah, I was there.
Right, exactly.
Doesn't matter.
Feel that energy.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter where you were sitting. Like the people in Toronto at WrestleMania 18 with The Rock and Hogan, where you could just be like, yeah, I was there. Yeah, I was sitting on the rafters with like a $5 ticket and couldn't see a damn thing, but I was there. Like that's all that matters.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like going through a lot of the wrestling stuff, like some of the main matches, like to be there with the Montreal Screwjob and like all of those different ones, like how like that story you could tell forever.
Yeah.
Like I was there when that happened. That'd be really cool. But anyway, we got to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get into some TV news. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the M.FM. See you guys all in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the M.FM, and we got some TV news to talk about. A little bit more than we had for movies. We got some Limelight. What's this?
It's okay. So Hulu is apparently doing a new like documentary film series, and each one is going to highlight like some different pop culture, either people or things. I think they're doing like the Johnny Carson show, I think, and some others. But they're doing one on Bill Finger, who was the co-creator of Batman that nobody knew about really for the longest time.
Right.
Bill was kind of like the Jack Kirby of Batman, in a sense of Bob Kane got all the press and all the credits and everything, and Bill just kind of slid by the wayside.
Gotcha. That's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, it's good to see him getting his dues. You know, you were part of something, you created something, you deserve the recognition for it.
Oh yeah, of
And
course.
they've really been stepping that up. He was included in the credits of, I don't know if it was Batman v Superman or if it was one of the last. I think it was The Dark Knight Rises, where it was like Batman co-created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger.
Yeah.
It was something like that, and it was a big deal when it happened.
Yeah, it says 2015. DC will finally give credit Finger as co-creator of Batman, so it must have been Batman vs.
Yeah, it would
Superman.
have been BVS, yeah.
Yeah. What a shitty film to make him.
Right.
By the way, the worst of them
Right,
we're going to now credit.
Yeah, it's like, oh hey, this is his fault.
Couldn't have been when Nolan did them. Man, what a dive off a cliff those films were compared to Nolan's. Holy shit! It made all of those people who complained about the third one.
Yeah, me included, where I was like, you know what, I'll take The Dark Knight Rises over this. Yeah.
Any day, like it's a film. Like I don't know. Anyway, that's what's kind of preventing me from seeing Suicide Squad. Like I'm gonna see it just because I have to see it. We're in that, we're in that world,
right?
And so we're gonna see it. We saw Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
But it's like it's one of those like, do I really want to? Did I really want to spend this money? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the only. I'm just like, okay, well, I don't know. But then again, like some really odd people enjoy the hell about, like the Jeremy Johns or whatnot, the guy on YouTube,
Okay.
the one who does all the trailers. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
He's like the big YouTube guy that does it. So he's got a bunch of followers, and he is dead on about every movie. And what I mean by that is like me and him agree to the T with every Star Wars, like everything. Like, and he puts things aside too. He's like, seeing this as a fan is different from seeing this as like a film buff with no, ties to it. And so like he does those kind of reviews where he's like, look, I'm going to put on my Batman or my Superman. I'm sorry. My Star Wars blanket cape because that's how much I love it. Like, so like, and then he kind of judges it like this is kind of like as a fan, but then he comes at it with like a little bit more of a critique, I guess.
Right.
I don't know. His reviews are more like a fan's when he does stuff, and he doesn't like everything, but the things he does like and the things he says about them, I'm like, that is so spot on. He's the guy that I go and watch after the movies, kind of like how you watch the What Culture Wrestling after the wrestling, because you're probably like, there's a lot of things these guys say that totally dead on.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, but anyway, his YouTube channel's great.
Nice.
Yeah. So don't know why I just went on a tangent there, but
on this show, people going on tangents. What are the odds?
Right. But that's kind of what he loves. He didn't love Suicide Squad, but he was like, I thought it was fun. I think the critics were a little bit too uptight about it. Even more, he's like, Batman vs Superman. He understood why people just destroyed it, but Suicide Squad, he was like, now it seems like they're just kind of getting a little mad at nothing. So I don't know. But then I've heard the opposite end of the spectrum. I've heard like the guys at Kind of Funny who like Greg Miller usually defended Batman vs Superman, still does to this day. He loves it.
Oh, Greg.
His review show for Suicide Squad opened up with them all holding their hands in their head like, I can't defend this.
Wow.
He even says, he's like, there's nothing I can do to defend this. This was not a film. It was a bunch of like a big trailer of something that's supposed to. I don't know. He just, there's so much stuff he went into. I only listened to the non-spoiler stuff, but yeah. So I don't know. It's one of those like, am I gonna like it? Am I not? Hey, people hated Warcraft. I loved it. I thought it was great. So we'll see. But anyway, speaking of trailers, did you see the Luke Cage trailer?
That was awesome.
Yes.
That was so badass. That show looks amazing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's Rosario Dawson. She's in like everything, all of these shows?
Yeah, Rosario Dawson, yeah.
Rosario Dawson, yeah. It's cool. What I'm afraid of is that they're going to, in the comic book world, when they say they fridge somebody, I don't want her to be the one like what they did with Coulson in Avengers. And I'm thinking that's what they're going to do. If they do that, I'm going to be pissed because I'm going to be like, saw that a mile away. What character brings them together that could make them go, hey, we all knew her, let's avenge her?
Yeah, but I think specifically, I think they're not going to do that specifically because they've already done it. I don't think they go back to that well.
I hope they don't. Is
No,
all I'm saying.
I think it's more the common enemy theme. I think that's what's it's going to be somebody so big that like it ties together. It's like they're all going after whoever it is from a different angle. And at the end of it, they don't like each other, they don't get along, they disagree on method, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, they're all trying to fight the same fight.
Right.
No,
I hope. I really do. I don't want it to like open up with them, her death, and they're like, we gotta defend her. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just I see that, and I'm like, they did that in Avengers. Don't do it here.
Yeah, and I think that's why it'll be the thing. Like that was the thing in the first Avengers. They're like, we have to avenge his death. Hey, we should be called the Avengers. Now it's going to be like we're each trying to defend New York. Hey, we should be called the Defenders. Like I think that's I think that's part of why it's going to come at it from that side. But
right. Yeah, man. Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's see, what else do we got here? We got Powers. You see the series? The series has been canceled.
Yeah, after 2 seasons.
Crazy, right?
Largely because the distribution platform was just not good. I know we've talked. I think we've been over this dead horse time and time again. But just the idea of like, hey, we're gonna put it out on PS Plus a bunch at one time, and then supposed to be one episode every week. But the first season they screwed that up so bad I didn't even bother with the second.
Yeah. It's a shame. I mean,
and it's too bad because it was an interesting show. Like I actually did like it, but just the idea of like I was gonna wait until it all came out before I was gonna watch it. Like right. I'll go back and watch season 2, sure, but.
This would have been much better on Netflix or Hulu. It would have strived.
Yeah.
I'm surprised HBO hasn't tried and contacted, oh wait, what? I forget his name. The guy who does Invincible.
Bendis, yeah.
No.
Oh, Kirkman.
Kirkman, yeah. I'm surprised they have. Invincible is the one that to me could be up there with Walking Dead if done right.
Yeah.
And he's got to be holding on to that because that would actually be really hard to shoot for a TV show because it is like a lot of flying and it'd be a lot of CGI. But yeah, man, I would love for that to be picked up by HBO or something like that. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, remember when he went out on stage and talked to everybody at E3? And they're like, what is this? Sony?
Yeah, that was the part everybody kind of tuned out of.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bendis was just not. I don't know. It wasn't his crowd because nobody in that room wanted to hear about that.
Right.
Like that would have played better at Comic-Con for something, but like that crowd at that night, that was just not. Just no.
Yeah. Definitely. I agree. We got some Star Wars news. ABC says conversations with Lucasfilm about a live-action Star Wars show are ongoing.
Yeah, it means it's going to happen. It's just going to take a little while.
I don't like that it's ABC, though.
Where else is it going to go?
Netflix?
Yeah.
I mean, Disney has that deal with Marvel. It would be so much better on Netflix. And I'm not saying it can't be, I don't want it to be like rated R or anything like that, or it doesn't have to be like dark and edgy at all.
Well,
but at the same time, I know that Netflix will take care of it, where ABC will go 24 episodes, hour long each, and then you have filler where R2D2 is just R2D2 and C3PO are off on an adventure for 3 episodes. Like I see that happening.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's all. I want Daredevil. I don't want Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Fair enough.
Yep, but it is Star Wars. That's the thing. They're gonna want it on network. That's what they're. That's where their money's at,
Yeah,
I guess.
well, somebody convince CBS to do that with Star Trek, will you?
Yes.
Hey, we should put this on a streaming service you have to pay for in the United States. We're going to put it on Netflix for the entire rest of the planet, but if you live in the US, you better pay for our digital-only service. Screw you, CBS.
Right. And maybe that is Disney's way of saying, look how stupid you guys are being.
Right. We're going to put it on TV that people can get with an antenna.
Right, exactly. It just has to be done right. This could be done so wrong in so many different ways.
Yeah, we could get an entire season of the Christmas special.
Yep. But man, I do love Star Wars. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, my favorite platform is television. Favorite series is Star Wars. This would be so good.
Yeah.
And then again, I mean, they did Lost too, so like I can't completely, I don't know, and that's like still probably my favorite show next to Game of Thrones. So I can't completely throw them out, but at the same time, they just have to get the right people on it. Yeah. Put the Lost people on it. Even if it pissed a lot of people off, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, right?
But that's the thing. I want mystery. I don't want all the answers, there. But give me some questions. That'd be perfect for a Star Wars movie or TV show.
Right.
Like, wait, what is this lost Jedi strand thingy they're talking about? And then never answer it. And I would love that because it would just make our imaginations go wild.
Right. As long as you don't promise that it's all going to be paid off and it's all going to make sense and it's all going to fit over and over and over again, and then not deliver on it. Then
Right. So
I'm okay with
expectations were set too high, but if you took that out of it, it was great television.
Right.
And I don't know. I've always had the argument with Lost that if you actually watch it from beginning to end, it makes sense. They don't answer everything, but the story ends. You know the conclusion. You know how they got where they were at and all that other stuff. Everything wasn't answered, but that's not the point. Like, that's not the point at all for anything. And I think they were dead on when they made the Metachlorian debate. They were like, you don't want us to answer everything. You're absolutely right. They shouldn't have said they were going to answer everything. That was their biggest mistake.
Yeah, that's always been my biggest contention with it. I don't care that they didn't answer things. I care that not only did they set some things up, like, okay, this is important, and you can tell by the way we're structuring this, it's going to continue to be important, and so we're going to need to explain it. And then we're going to tell you at different panels and press conferences and whatnot, yeah, pay attention to this, it's really important. And then, suddenly Walt's never heard from again.
Yeah, that was the big one.
Yeah, that was the thing of, like, if you're going to set up, it's something different being, if there'd been some Jacques Cousteau bathysphere sitting up in a tree somewhere, and somebody's like, what the hell is that? How'd that get there? Well, we don't know. And then they carry on. That's fine. I don't care.
I think you have a perfectly reasonable argument with it, but what pissed me off is when people expected them to, like, I was talking to some people, it's almost as if they wanted them to come up for the last 2 hours of the show and pull up a chair and go, the bird in episode 3 of season 1 was on his shoulder because they literally wanted everything given to them.
Right.
And I was just like, come on, man, it's not how stories work.
No.
So I completely agree with you, 100%.
No, yeah, I have no problem with, like, the little incidental things of, like, I guess we'll never know. I have no problem with that. But if you set it up as this giant plot point,
right,
and then there's no payoff, yeah, I'm gonna get pissed.
Right, exactly. Oh yeah. We get Star Wars Rebels Season 3 to premiere on September 24th.
Yeah, premiere episode's going to be an hour long. It's going to introduce Thrawn. I'm so hyped for this.
Oh, yeah. Now, you watched Season 1 and Season 2, right?
Yeah.
I need to rewatch Season 2 because it's a little foggy.
A little hazy. It's a good show. Like, I was really surprised. Because I didn't like the Clone Wars.
No?
I didn't really. I liked the original Clone Wars cartoon they did.
The 2D one.
Not so much with the 3D one. Like there were some really good ideas, but I just wasn't. That was a case of, like, oh my god, so much of this is just junk.
Oh well, that was the thing. There was maybe 5 episodes a season that were like, okay, these are great, but it's almost like you had to, because people have made websites where they're like, okay, if you want, like, the really cool story ones and you want the ones that are important and you also want the ones that are good, here's the list. And it was like 5 from each season.
That's a list I would find and go watch those. Because, like, I tried just from, like, season 1 to start through, and I got, like, 8 or 9 episodes in, and I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yep, exactly. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to talk more about TV news. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. See y'all in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and oh man, we got some more TV news to talk about. Some Supergirl news. Katie McGrath cast as, was it Lena Luthor?
Yeah.
In season 2.
Yeah.
Did you see that they officially like came out and said that Flashpoint is going to merge Supergirl's universe and everything else?
Interesting.
But yeah, and they it was what's his name? The guy who plays Arrow.
Amel.
Yes, Amel, and he came out and said that Flashpoint has to do with that, and it also changes a lot. Not a lot. He didn't say a lot, but he said the effects of Flashpoint is in all of the shows.
Well, sure. I mean, it would have to be.
Right, exactly. So, who knows? Maybe, like, it would be really cool is if the end of the first episode of Arrow, like, his best friend from the first season pops in, or his mom or something.
Right, like something completely crazy.
And, like, they don't even know it. Like, and and they've said that before, like, these characters don't know, even the Flash doesn't know something's changed. That it's just always been his dad's there, his mom's there.
Yeah.
So it would be cool if, like, the first episode, the way they word scenes, the way they script it, like, they say things that make you think he's thinking about his mom, or he's thinking of, or whoever's passed away. And then at the very end, like, he lights up when his mom walks in the room, but like it's nothing. Like, oh, hey, you got back from your trip, cool. That would be such a cool twist.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
Well, I mean, there was...
accidentally spoil it for myself. But
well, but I mean, the interesting thing with Flashpoint was when Barry woke up at his desk.
Right.
And had no idea, like, he had no idea what was going on.
Yes. And so I hope it lasts for a few episodes, and then suddenly, like, he knows. And he's like, fuck.
Yeah.
And I like it. I like how they're teasing it, like who's the bad guy now? You're altering things for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I thought that's cool. That's cool. So I don't know. Pretty excited.
Yeah. That's what happens when you mess with time.
Yep. Oh man, I can't wait. Just to think, we're literally gonna have Monday through Friday superhero shows on CW, and I like them all, except Supergirl. That one I'm gonna have to work on.
Well, and I imagine you're gonna see some changes too.
Oh yeah.
Now that it's, I mean, I know it was always Berlanti Productions, but now that it's in house at the CW, I imagine you're gonna see some changes for sure.
Well, it's gonna interact with the other shows. They're gonna say things, they're gonna do things. There's gonna be that world, sharing. We'll have characters from each other's shows on there.
Right.
That's gonna be really cool. I think that's gonna be just enough for me to, like, definitely pay attention. They can share bad guys and stuff like that. All right. Well, let's see, what else do we got? We got some Gotham news. Season 3 to introduce Proto Killer Croc, a revamped Poison Ivy. According to ex-producer John Stevens, Stevens also said that Forerunner to Harley Quinn will make an appearance, but maybe not this season. So I guess we're going to get before she became Harley Quinn?
I guess. I don't know.
Wouldn't she be yeah, I don't know. They just need to go full on, this is a weird Batman universe.
Yeah.
Switch it up. They already did it with Barbara Gordon.
Yeah, right?
Like, she's a freaking crazy person. That's why I think, oh man, it would be so cool if Gordon becomes Batman this season. Like, kill off the kid. How big of a twist would that be?
I would welcome it, for one thing, because I can't. I'm sorry, his part of the show's the worst part.
Yeah, imagine, like, his ex-wife kills Bruce Wayne in front of him, or just some crazy, like, do something batshit crazy, pun intended. Like that would be fantastic. Just go off the rails. That would get me watching every week because I would be like, what's gonna happen next? Like who's gonna turn into what bad guy? So I don't know. That'd be really cool. That'd be so different and it'd be unique and it'd get me watching.
I mean, they've kind of created a prototype of Harley Quinn with Barbara Gordon.
They actually really have. Every time I see her do her thing, I'm like, that's what she's doing, Harley Quinn.
So then let's make Jim Gordon the Joker instead.
That would be weird.
Instead of Batman, he gets to be the Joker. That I would watch.
Exactly. Oh yeah. We got David O. Russell, director, developing limited run series with Robert De Niro and Julianne Moore.
Yeah, apparently it's supposed to be like a limited run crime drama of some kind, but like that's all anybody knows.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Let's see here. What the hell? I'm looking at a set picture of Ray Palmer. What's his name? Brandon Routh.
Yeah.
That plays him, and like he just looks like he's been stranded in the like middle of, I don't know, he like prehistoric times. His beard's all grown out, shorts all turned up. He's got a stick, hair's long. It's gonna be interesting.
This is the wasteland he was exiled to after Superman Returns.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so that's interesting. And I didn't see on here, so I wanted to mention it real fast. Oh no, we did talk about it. How like the new X-Men show is going to be inspired by like the Underground Railroad.
I don't know. Did we talk about that last week?
I thought we did talk about it before, but apparently Dana Weldon told Slash Film that the new X-Men inspired TV series Fox is making with Marvel is a little bit Underground Railroad. It's about an average family who encounters the extraordinary world and children who have mutant powers, and they end up on the run. So it's a little bit of Underground Railroad in terms of storytelling spine. And then they said they went on to discuss why they dropped the Hellfire Club. They just didn't like the script, didn't think it would be, they just didn't think it would be a good fit.
Well, hell, we could have told them that.
Yes, yeah, that's what we've been saying. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, like that makes sense. That's how you do an X-Men show that's like not in the mansion and stuff. It's like them on the run.
Yeah.
And I'm totally down for that. Get like throw in maybe one or two X-Men that we know, and then have the rest one be oddballs that we still know, like as a comic book guys, but like we still tell our friends like, oh, that's so and so, that's Marrow or something. Leave him out of it. Don't do Marrow, but
wow.
But yeah, that's what I mean. Let's see here. We got some Tales from the Crypt news. Go ahead and take it.
This man, okay. So they talked about how the structure for it. What's the guy's name who's the head of TNT? Kevin Riley. He said it's gonna start with like a half-hour anthology bit, and then like that's gonna be like its own part of the show, and then they're gonna have like the full hour like episode part of the show, and they're gonna have some like animated shorts of some kind in between, or just shorts like
what?
interspersed throughout the thing. Like it's going to be a whole different structure of everything. It's basically a way to see how many different forms of visual media M. Night Shyamalan can destroy in one sitting.
Is this the Muppet Show? Wait. So it's gonna have a half an hour of anthology.
Right.
It's going to have a whole block that is not anthology?
Well, it's part of this whole block. The next hour is a different thing, and then they're going to have like little interstitials of some kind.
That is...
And they're not going to have the original Crypt Keeper because the rights to that are owned by a whole bunch of different people. So that's a mess.
Holy shit!
Which to me would be a way of saying, okay, then don't do this.
Right.
But another way of saying, and here's the thing, all of the I think it's all of the anthology pieces are going to be directed by M. Night Shyamalan. So they're going to be awful. The main part of the show is probably going to be awful. And all of it's going to be awful. And this project should not exist. At least not certainly in this form.
Right.
And it should not be. I mean, this is being developed at Turner. I mean, you have the president of TNT talking about this. No, for the love of God, no. Do not put this on TNT. What is wrong with you people?
Right.
This is something that is supposed to scare the bejesus out of children. I watched these on HBO when I was like 5, and it was terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying.
Scrap this and go make Captain Planet and the Planeteers, the TV show.
Dude, I'll tell you what, if you're going to do something on TNT, that would be better than this.
So much better.
That would be...
They were going to have Teen Titans, and then they said nope.
We don't want a live-action Teen Titans series. We want an M. Night Shyamalan-helmed cluster of a Tales from the Crypt programming block.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense.
God, they're from the same people that brought you WCW Thunder.
Oh man.
I can't. All of this is bad. All of this is bad.
They need to call Eric Bischoff.
yeah, right. Did you see he's going to be at one of the WCPW shows this month?
Repeat that. WC what?
WCPW, the What Culture.
The What Culture. Gotcha.
Yeah, he's guest general managing one of their shows this month.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I did see one of those where they had like a guest. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, he was part of one of the documentaries I was watching, because they have that whole Monday Night War, and it seems like a documentary. I only watched the first one. Yeah,
it's a whole series. It was originally like there was a book, and then they did like a 2-hour DVD thing, and then they were like, no, we need to break this down.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. The first episode is like, here's the big picture, and then it seems like the other ones are like, here's the Nash and Scott Hall part of it.
Right.
And
here's the Outsiders. Here's DX. Here's this. Here's that. Yeah.
Here's Hogan coming to Disney in a float.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
All right. Well, let's take a quick break. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. See you guys all in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and we got a little bit more TV news to talk about. There was some Harry Potter news.
Yeah, NBC Universal bought the television and digital rights for the franchise.
So what does that mean? To re-air the films?
Right, and then all the ones going forward, like Fantastic Beasts and so on.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So this isn't, hey, we want to make a Harry Potter TV show.
No, this is just, hey, we don't want them to be on ABC Family anymore.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, and that starts July of 2018. So.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
It'll be on, finally USA will have something else to marathon besides NCIS.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. Let's see. We got some Halo news. Xbox head Phil Spencer says Steven Spielberg's Showtime series is still in development.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, the one that they were like, and this is going to be a thing, and then Microsoft laid off their entire TV division.
Right.
They were like, this is going to be a thing at Showtime, and that was like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it could be worse. It could have went the way of Powers and just fizzled out.
Well, I mean, that was how they wanted it to be. They wanted it to be like Powers, where they were like, we're going to put this out ourselves, and they found out that didn't work real fast.
Right. Well, that's what I mean, I guess. Yeah. It's like they found out real fast. They didn't do it, right?
It didn't get off the ground. Like their TV division was like, nope, bye.
Yeah, I mean, once everyone came out and just railed against them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so that was like the one project that survived, and because Showtime was like, hey, we can do something with this, and then nothing's been done with it. So.
Right.
I don't know, man. I mean, it is what it is. This is one of those that I'll believe it when I see it, and then when I see it, I'll probably be disappointed.
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't know. The books, this is the most bizarre thing to say about a video game franchise. The books were better.
That's
The
funny.
books are really good. The actual, like, they start with Reach and carry on. Like, they're actually really good books.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like, I know that sounds like a bizarre thing to say, but the game they did, Halo Reach, was based on the book, actually.
Who?
With
I'm thinking, did you tell me that? Because I think I've heard that from someone before.
it could have been a couple people. It was probably me, because I really did enjoy the books.
It was you
Um,
or the guys at Giant Bomb that said that, like, oh no, the books are actually pretty good.
it could have
They
been
might have said it too, yeah.
yeah, because
That's what
they
I'm
are.
thinking.
They're actually they're good reads.
Hmm. Cool, cool. Yeah, man. Well, I think that's it for TV news. We're gonna shift over to some video game news. Did you have you opened up Pokemon Go recently?
Yeah, I'm just not one of the people with the nearby feature. I just have sightings.
Um, right.
Yes,
Isn't that what everyone has?
I did. Are they doing nearby with everyone? Because they're only doing part of it with us with like a set of users. Like
Oh,
there is a
okay.
guinea pig group. They may be expanding it. They may be rolling it out more and more.
See, I
Um,
thought the nearby was when you're near like Pokestop or something.
Nearby is like, oh hey, there's a Pokemon at this place. Tap here and see where this is and go find it.
Oh, that's kind of perfect.
Right, exactly. It's like, oh no, this Pokemon is here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, sightings is like the revamp of the three-step system, where it's like, hey, you're in the area of this Pokemon somewhere.
Right, right. And that looked like it didn't change at all.
No, it really didn't. Like the graphic is neat, but it didn't change a thing.
Yeah, it's just grass.
Yeah,
Like, see, I thought like the Pokemon got bigger the closer you got,
I
but it doesn't look like they've changed at
I
all.
thought that too, and the same thing. No, they stay the same, and they're not even. It's not still like from the top left anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, cause I caught an Eevee earlier, and I'm like, oh, you're the third one over. Like, so that's not a thing anymore.
All right. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. The Rattatatas and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Nidoran. Yep,
yeah.
yep, yep, yep.
So I think the nearby part of it is something that they're either testing or they're slowly rolling out, or it could just be the fact that I live in a Pokemon desert. 'Cause there's nothing. I'm serious. Like I looked back when Pokevision was still up and everything.
Right.
In the same square footage of city, the difference between an actual city and downtown where I live was ridiculous.
Right, right.
Like
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's tons in a city.
right, like you go to like because it would always open up to like here's the Santa Monica Pier for some reason. And it's like
Right.
oh, in that one stretch of pier are more Pokemon are more different kinds of Pokemon than there are in my entire town.
Right. You're like, oh, that's what an Electabuzz looks like.
Exactly. It's like, oh hey, there's a Jinx, and there's a Jinx, and there's a Jinx. Wow, there's a lot of Jinx there, and Electabuzz, and that's a Golem, and I'm sitting here and I'm excited because I'm like, hey, this place has Magikarp.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
that's what I don't see around here, and it's making me crazy.
Right.
I'm going out of my mind over this nonsense.
Yeah. No, I noticed that too. Like if I go to a family member's house, I'm like, oh wow, you guys don't have much of anything.
Uh huh.
I got lucky in my neighborhood. It's a small little neighborhood. It's not near like a big city or anything like that. And you're right. I looked at my neighborhood compared to for example, my much bigger neighborhood next door, and there's nothing over there. They're all in this area, and I don't know how they pick that. Uh, I'm just, yeah, how would they do that? Because I
I
thought maybe it was just because it's my location and so it's showing more.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
really sure. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was odd.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see. You know, in a week or so from now, they'll change that. They'll take it away, and then they'll be like, "Well, why are you guys getting upset?
Yeah. Right.
Just give us the original thing. That works so well."
I'm good if they keep the nearby thing because that's kind of what everybody wants. It's like, oh hey, a Pokemon is here,
Right,
um,
right. That's true.
and I don't know if that's And it didn't look like it was like, oh, there's a Pokemon at this Pokestop. It just looked like, hey, this Pokemon is here.
Right, right.
Press this and see where it is on the map. Like, that was what it looked like. Now, I don't know what they'll do or tweak or change, but, whatever.
What's your Pokédex at right now?
40, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've seen 83 or 84. I've caught 83.
Yeah, see, that's the difference. I would have to drive like 30 miles to get to somewhere that has like actual Pokemon in it.
Oh, wow.
There's just nothing here. There's just nothing here. Like, anything of any significance is somewhere else.
Right, yeah, I've noticed that they put the big ones in where people are just putting lures in all day, and so it's just constantly gonna draws people's attention. I know, like, the comic shop on Mondays does it for like 5 hours.
Nice, there you go.
Like, yeah, just come here. And Altamont Springs, like, apparently that's where people went before with the other game, and so I think they kind of just put the same map over it. Like, all right, we'll just put like the rare stuff in the same places that other Ingress game or whatever was.
Yeah. I think that's exactly what they've done.
Yep.
Which,
so,
I mean, it means it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But if you live in a place like Statesville, you're screwed.
pretty much. I imagine, like, maybe there was someone that lived in this neighborhood that was really into that game, and for them, I thank you. I don't know what happened. Yeah, but most of the time it's just like Pidgeys and Rattatas in my neighborhood.
Yeah, I've got Bellsprouts. I found it freaked me out the other day because I found like 2 Bellsprouts that were like jacked. And I was like, what in the hell? I don't know if I've talked about. I don't know if I mentioned this on here before or not, but I was like, what in the hell? Like, this is Jeanette's Bellsprout from the Pokemon League. Like, what are these things?
Oh, they're really high level. What level are you?
What am I, 11, I think?
Oh, okay.
Like,
yeah, you're not that high then.
That's what I mean. Like, that was why it was a surprise, because they were like 300 something. And I was like, I'm finding that for a Bellsprout? Really? Like,
that sucks, because it sounds like it should have been like a rarer Pokemon, but it was just a Bellsprout instead.
Exactly. And that's what I keep running into here. Like, the most interesting thing I've caught here is a Clefairy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, I mean, I can't find Pikachus anywhere. I can't find Charmanders. I can't find Squirtles. Like, I got nothing around here.
There's nests too. Like, nests are a real thing.
Right.
There was a Charmander one apparently in Hunter's Creek or something like that. And ever since the big update where they took a lot of stuff out, they've moved the nests around, because the park by my grandfather's house was a Pikachu park. I caught nothing but Pikachu there. And as soon as they did that update, it's not there anymore. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure they moved those.
Well, and that makes sense. Shuffle them around every once in a while.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I just remember this game came out and we were like, I heard if you go to Electric Plant, there's going to be electric Pokemon. But
I don't know.
That's the problem with no communication.
Right. Instead of, that's the thing of, like, they never explained anything.
Right. And the week before they did the big patch, they were looking for a community leader. They were like looking for, they had jobs out there. It's funny because they didn't think of this beforehand. I guess they thought, like,
did they not know this thing was going to be downloaded 1 billion times?
Right, they just had no idea. I saw a funny GIF the other day. It was like this guy giving this kid an ice cream cone, but he kept tricking him. Like, he'd give him the cone but without the ice cream, or he'd give him the ice cream top without the cone, or then he just kept tricking him, like teasing him, and it was like, this is how Niantic deals with this, with his customers. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's just a giant teasing. You're not telling us anything. Now they're starting to. Now it makes sense why they cut the Pokevision and stuff, because of just how much it was straining their servers. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a neat game. I'm still playing it, not as much as I was. I mean, I'm still doing it on my days off. I'm still going and, jogging places and riding my bicycle. I'm just not, I'm not going out on my lunch break and doing it. But I'm still going out every day at some point and doing it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, just not, I guess, 3 or 4 times a day. But yeah, man, we'll see. That's our Pokemon Go talk for the week. So did you see this Nintendo NX rumors suggest new console will have a new Mario, Pokemon games within the 6 months of launch. It was Mario, Zelda, and Pokemon.
Well, but I mean, because like Zelda, we knew.
Right, right. So the Pokemon one, do you think it's going to be Sun and Moon?
I,
That
I
would be kind of a burn.
it it would to be like, hey, this thing you just bought on the 3DS, buy it again on the NX. No,
But
that's a bad idea. But
they're
this
doing it with
is
Zelda.
yeah, but I mean, but this is Nintendo, and their track record with things like this is not all that great.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're doing the exact same with Zelda, and no one's upset.
What do you mean? Oh, well, that's no, hang on, but that's different because look.
How is it different at all?
Okay, I
It's the exact same thing, except that here's the difference. People have a 3DS, and people don't have a Wii U.
but here's the other thing. We know with Zelda where it's like, oh, buy it on the Wii U or buy it for the NX. With Pokemon, we're not sure if it's the same thing. That's where it's different. If it's
Right.
the same game, then okay. Then it's like then it's your choice. Take your
Here's
pick.
what I think they do. They do Sun and Moon now in November,
Yeah.
and then March or May or whenever. Actually, next year, 6 months when the system comes out. When is it coming out?
March. So it could be a
March.
year from
So next November they do, I don't know, Sun and Moon. You know how they always do like the Emerald version or the Yellow version?
right. So it would be what stars?
Right. They would just do their Sun and Moon, or they could do Sun and Moon 2, literally Sun 2, Moon 2. However they do it, that version of the game, you know, it's going to look a little bit nicer. It's going to have whatever features. I could totally see them doing that, and I'd be perfectly fine with that.
I would just be afraid that it's like a new dungeon game.
Right. Yeah, yes, that's
Yeah.
what I was going to bring up, is
That's
that
yeah.
it's
Like
they didn't say the main series. This could easily be Pokemon, Dungeon, and that would suck. I wouldn't buy it. I only buy the main series.
I'm telling you right now, if they say, look, this title is going to be Pokemon Snap 2, I'm in. I'm so hands down in. I'm not being ironic. I'm not being funny.
Right.
I that's a sequel I want.
Right.
I don't need another Coliseum. I had enough of those. Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Coliseum, Pokemon Arena, whatever. I don't care. I don't want any more of those.
I didn't find those fun. I thought that's stupid. Like
Yeah.
it's to me the boringest. I don't know. It's not the boringest part of the game, but it's just like you have this huge RPG on a Game Boy. You get to the Nintendo 64, and you only do a fraction of it.
Yeah.
But you make it the 3D models. I was like, this is so stupid.
But I mean, it was the idea of, to keep the game mobile oriented, to keep it handheld centric,
Right.
and I respected them for that. And you could plug the game in and still play. They had Game Boy Tower.
Well, honestly, this is the best of both worlds. If Nintendo NX is everything that we think it's going to be, we're finally going to get a console Pokemon game, because if it's they said it's basically as powerful or a little bit more than a PlayStation 4, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't need Nintendo blazing graphics, but if you
Right.
get that kind of power into a Pokemon RPG game, because it's going to happen. They're going to the next main Pokemon series game is going to be on the NX at some point.
Right.
So maybe it's 2 or 3 years. Usually it's like 3 years apart. But that's going to be a big jump. And you can if it is what we think it is, you could sit at your house and play it on your TV, or you can take it on the go if that's what we believe it is, and that's really cool. That's gonna have your cake and eat it too.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you can have that connection with your friends and everything else, and on the go. Like this is going to be such a crossroads for Nintendo. And I don't know. I haven't been this excited for a console from Nintendo since 3DS. I thought was a really cool idea, and not just because it was 3D, because I was just like that's a really cool looking system, like the graphics and stuff you could do on it.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited for this, because this is gonna be. I haven't bought a Nintendo console since the Wii, and I hardly played that one.
Yeah. Yeah,
Never bought the GameCube. The most I played probably more on Super Nintendo than any of the other systems in the last 20 years.
well, it had games. I
Yeah.
mean, Nintendo has lacked third-party support
Hmm.
since the 64.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah, and that makes sense why I didn't really play them. The only
yeah.
third-party support that I really cared for was the Star Wars stuff, and that was the only thing that kind of kept me. Even I remember watching like the GameCube games, and I was like, oh, they got this like cool Rogue thing or whatever, but it wasn't enough for me to buy the system because I was like, no, I can't,
Yeah.
can't, spend all that money for one game. But I don't know. So I'm really excited to see what this is, and it's we should hear about this in like a month.
Yeah, TGS.
Yeah. So I just want to know what it's about, what it's like. Give me the launch title. Say, hey, we're doing Mario, the Moon, or Pokemon. I don't know. It would be weird actually if they announced whatever the Pokemon game was before this one comes out. They wouldn't do that.
Right.
Yeah. But also what we were talking about earlier, the PS Neo news. Sony rumored to unveil console at Technical Showcase on September 7th. The showcase is confirmed by Sony. No other details are confirmed though. And this was broken by Vice, their new video game. Part the what was it Patrick? What's his name? He was originally hold on, quick story real fast. Let me get it real fast.
Yeah.
The Vice Gaming. Both of the guys that broke this story, Austin Walker and Patrick. I'm gonna get his name here. Oh yeah, Austin Walker and Patrick Kelpick. I'm saying that wrong, but they both came from Giant Bomb. Patrick went on to Kotaku for a while, for years, and he was the one who did the Mario Maker with Dan. I don't know if have you seen any of those?
No, but I remember you telling me about them.
Yeah, him and Dan just went back and forth for the longest time, just trying to make the most miserable levels. And like they even did a huge thing at PAX East or something like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and Austin Walker was with Giant Bomb East, the Beastcast, and he was the guy who leaked the big PS Neo news originally when they were like, just a few months ago when it was this huge thing, like, are they going to talk about it at E3, that sort of thing, and he leased like the specs and everything else, and but yeah, I think that's why Vice picked up these two cats because they're really good at what they do.
Nice.
And I I apparently they still have a good relationship with Sony. They were invited to this thing, even though they leaked it. I'm sure, my conspiracy with putting my conspiracy hat on. I'm sure Sony probably had a little bit to do with it, maybe, or they weren't like that upset
Right. Well,
because it was going to get out 2 days before that.
exactly. Yeah.
And companies really do care about when news is released, though, because they want to be the one to control it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But they knew that was going to happen. I mean, the kind of funny guys, like Monday or Tuesday, were like, "Oh yeah, wow, this is okay. We just got an invite to a thing in September." So, yeah, well, that's cool. So that is going to be in September. So.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got? Oh yeah, did you see the Pokemon Sun and Moon?
Yeah, from the Japanese comic or magazine or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this always happens. It leaks like a few days before they do their videos. And they have Meowth Dark type, Marowak, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Fire Ghost type, which is really cool.
Yeah, he looks badass.
Yes, and as well as Team Skull, which is cool. I'm glad that it's not like Team Aqua and Team Fire.
Team
like,
Magma, shut up. Team Galaxy. All right, that's it. That's it. You've jumped the shark.
Right, exactly. And did you see the Ghost type that's a sandcastle?
Yeah, that was different.
I thought that looked cool, and I saw people complaining about it.
Oh, we've got an ice cream cone, for God's sake, get over
Right, right.
it.
Yeah, I saw it on a forum. Like this guy was like, "That's it. I can't do this. This is just the bridge too far." Or no, I'm sorry. He goes, "This is just too much." Well, and then one guy's like, "Oh, that's the bridge too far."
Right.
That the idea that a ghost is trapped in this sandcastle thing is too far for Pokemon.
Right. That's really like we have the unknowns. Like, I'm sorry, these things are one for every letter of the alphabet. You have 26 different versions of the same Pokemon. No, like, but here you've got one that's a pile of trash. That's literally a pile of trash with eyes on it. The sandcastle. This is too far.
He goes, "We have a tree dragon this generation." He's like, "Would you just relax and have a little fun?" I like the idea of a sandcastle. That's such a cool little. I don't know. I just you gotta, at the end of the day, we're talking about Pokemon.
Right.
It's not that like
Right.
if you're taking it that seriously, sorry, buddy. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna be disappointed. It's kids are gonna love that. I thought it was cool. So. But yeah, no, it looked really cool. So I'm pumped. I couldn't be more excited about the game. Kind of wish they'd stop leaking things, or it's not even leaking. Like I just don't want to see them all before it comes out. I want to be a little surprised when I run into something in the game. I'm sure like they'll all pretty much be leaked before the game comes out, but I don't want to see all that. Like, I've seen enough.
Fair enough.
I want to run into some random, new type of an old Pokemon I know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if they have like, I don't know, Fire Squirtle in the game, I'd rather not know about it and then get the game and play. Like, kind of like with Mortal Kombat, when like, spoilers for Mortal Kombat 10, but when Sub-Zero becomes the robot.
Yeah.
Like, that was a cool twist. Like, oh shit, I didn't even know that was gonna happen. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I want to still be surprised.
I liked one of my favorite pictures was somebody had repurposed "It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground," and it had Anakin standing on top of an Exeggutor, and it had Obi-Wan standing on top of the new giraffe palm tree Exeggutor.
Right. It was great.
It's like, I like that. That's funny.
Oh yeah, the memes coming out of this are fantastic. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, man, can't wait for that game. Rocket League, you go ahead and take this one.
Yeah, Rocket League gets combat, basically. You basically get to play with power-ups in the Rumble update, I think is what they're calling it.
About time. Yeah, I saw it's like weird things, like it makes the ball really big.
Right, it's a boxing glove, and it's a boot, and it's a grappling hook, and it's a tornado, and it's like, yeah, this is what you'd expect.
Yeah, give me that. That's totally awesome. Like, an arena where you can fight other cars with like crazy weapons and big boxing glove. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's totally awesome. Have you played? Did we talk about last week the Lugia ball?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I forget if we talked about it or not. That was pretty fun. But yeah, man, Rocket League, keep being weird, keep being different, keep changing things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're gonna get people keep coming back. We got some Destiny 2 news. Activision CEO Eric Hirschberg says that the majority of the team at Bungie are working on the sequel.
Yeah, there's a shock.
Yeah, I'm not even. I know there's an expansion coming out, but.
Yeah, was it Rise of Iron? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like my friends are trying to get the season 2 or the year 2 stuff, and I could care less about it.
Well, because there was so much promise after the Taken King, and then it just kind of fizzled out.
Yeah, it's totally fizzled out for me. I have honestly no interest in it. I'm sure I'll pick up Destiny 2 when it comes out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I think my enjoyment of the first game is kind of done. I want to play with my friends, like that's cool, but I don't know. I'll probably just play No Man's Sky and hop in their chat.
Right.
Even though that game is like that's the No Man's Sky is the game where you don't get in a chat, and you're lost in your own little Star Trek, like hopping from planet to planet, exploring, finding weird and crazy creatures and naming them,
Right.
and shutting the world off and just jumping from world to planet and finding the monoliths, and that's when you put on a podcast. That's when you put on weird music, or even the music in the game is fucking outstanding. That's when you put an episode of Star Trek on and in the background or whatever. Like that, it's the perfect game to just chill.
Nice.
Yeah, it honestly reminds me of when I played Warcraft, because I was always doing something else while playing it. Like I was always watching something or doing something. It was just this, gotta go collect this, gotta go collect that, gotta go get this resource, gotta go do that, and that's what it reminds me of, in a fun way, because it's like, what's over this cliff? Oh, there's a cave here. What actually, should I save this part for our reviews? Yeah, I'll hold off. I'll talk about No Man's Sky in just a few minutes once we get past all the video game news. But yeah, it's fun. So, let's see here, and we're almost there. So, Dead Rising HD remastered of Dead Rising, Dead Rising 2, and Dead Rising 2 Off the Record, coming to PS4 and Xbox One on September 13th for $20 each, or all three for $50. Discount good on pre-orders only.
Yeah. So that's a thing.
Yeah. I don't know, what's the appeal of this? Like, I guess people who just never.
I guess people. Well, because the origin, like the first, I know the first one was Xbox exclusive.
Right.
And then I guess they're like, hey, if we're gonna do the first one, we might as well do the second one.
Right.
And that's fine. I mean, whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I remember getting the first one and I was like, look at all these zombies on the screen.
Yeah.
And then like they had the time thing.
Yeah. I don't
Kind
know.
of made it hard to play because I was like, I'm constricted.
Yeah, it just wasn't for me.
Yeah, definitely. BioShock Collection trailer released for HD versions of original BioShock. So, I didn't see the trailer, but I imagine it's just BioShock.
Yeah, it's BioShock in HD. It looks pretty.
Okay, cool. All right, well, actually, we'll be right back. We'll get in just a little bit more about games, and then we'll get into reviews. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. See you guys in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. And I see here Take-Two Interactive Company announced that Rockstar Games' next project will be revealed soon. What do you think that means?
I think it means that before too long they're going to announce Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's been heavily rumored it was supposed to be at E3, but because of what happened in Orlando, they didn't want to show it. I guess there was a scene where a bunch of people got shot up in the saloon or something, so they were like, that's not probably the best.
Yeah.
We could end this show without that. And whatever, it makes sense. Perfectly makes sense. And now they get a chance to, I guess make a better trailer, or, it's far away enough. It doesn't seem untimely, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, it's not gonna be fresh on your mind what happened, so you can enjoy the trailer, for what it's supposed to be, instead of having your mind somewhere else. So that's cool. I mean, did you ever play the Red Dead Redemption game? Did you like it?
I played a little bit of the original. I never really got into it.
Yeah. I got bored, honestly, because I was like, oh, this is cool, but there's like a lot of desert.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, this is a big wasteland, and everyone I know. I mean, I actually played it with one of my friends, and she really loved it. She's hearing this. She's probably gonna kill me, but she fucking loved it, and she's in the video game industry now, and so like that's her passion. So like she obviously saw what most of the critics saw was like this huge epic game or whatever.
Right.
But I have straight fucking ADD when it comes to a video game, so I'm all over the place, and I don't stay on the path and do all the quests and check. So like it was just like this big wasteland. I'm gonna run over here and go over, like whenever I get Grand Theft Auto, I'm just shooting people. I'm just doing crazy wacky stuff. I'm not doing the actual story.
Right.
And that was the problem with Red Dead Redemption, was it didn't feel like there was much to do outside of that because it was this huge wasteland. And I'm sure there was. I'm perfectly, I'm sure there was a ton of to do, but it was this big wasteland, and I just wasn't about it.
Yeah, no, when I was at Full Sail, man, every time I was in the library, there were like 18 copies of it to check out because there were so many people from the game dev program who had graduated and went to work on that game.
Yeah,
There were,
yeah,
I think there were what at least half a dozen grads who were part of that game. So you
yeah,
couldn't get away from it, and it was like it was the biggest thing that any of them had worked on in a while. So they
yeah,
were like, "Hey, look, we had people work on this. It's
yep,
game of the year from like everybody. Here, you get a copy, and you get a copy, and you get a copy." Like they were just so thrilled with it. And good for them. Like it was,
yeah,
you could look at it and see, the same thing of like, oh yeah, this they did like GTA in the Old West, and it looked really awesome. But like I don't know, I was in kind of that same mood of just like I didn't have the time to be like, oh, now I have to get on this horse and ride to Montana. Like I don't have time to cover that much map.
yeah,
I
yeah.
just don't.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's overwhelming. That's how I feel when I get into any of those kind of games. When it's like there's way too much to do here, and I don't know why, but I always felt MMOs, even though God, holy shit, there's more game in Warcraft than there is in probably most games that have come out in the last, I don't know, 20 years. Except for things like, maybe The Witcher. But no, actually, there's way more in Warcraft. If you want to go through all the dungeons and play all the characters and all that other stuff, all the side quests of every class and all that other stuff, actually, probably Warcraft is the biggest. But I don't know. That always felt like, oh, this is fun. I don't know. I get the opposite effect when I'm like, oh, here's Grand Theft Auto, and there's a bazillion things to do, and what's the point? I don't know why, but that's what I think
Eh,
when I get into those. I just like messing around. I just like getting into a car and driving it off a cliff and shooting a bunch of, just going crazy in the game.
yeah.
I don't know why I do that, but I do. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's it for video game news. Should I just talk about No Man's Sky playing a
Sure,
little
go
bit?
for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I thought I was looking at this article over at Polygon. Ben, I'm not gonna try and pronounce his last name. Um, I like how he summed this up in his headline. It was the addictive boredom of No Man's Sky, and how he just opens it up with No Man's Sky is a game I quit every night and can't wait to play in the morning. And I won't go into his like opinion piece or whatnot, but that's pretty much what it's like. Like it is, it is kind of a boring like. Okay, like this isn't a spoiler. You open up and your ship's wrecked, and you're on this planet, and apparently everyone's planet is different. I did see an article where like two people were on the same planet, but they couldn't see each other. Um, and this is a single player game. It is not a multiplayer game. It is in a sense of you can see other people's discoveries, and everything is logged, and their planets are there. So like you can find a planet I've landed on and see the creatures I tagged and named and all that other stuff. And you can run into the same areas I did, but we're probably never going to run into each other because it's a single player experience. Um, and you just feel like, and you see ships in the sky. You're looking up and you're seeing ships fly by and battle, and you're like, oh, if I get my ship working, I could go up there and see what's going on. On my planet, there's a big dwarf moon like off in the distance, and it's huge, and I want to go there, and I know I can go there. I know I can get off the planet and fly there, and that's such a cool fucking concept. Like no other game really you can do that. And so yeah, I'll be honest. I put in a few hours into it. I haven't accomplished as much as I see like a lot of these streamers and a lot of my friends actually that are playing it. But I haven't felt like I wasted any time because, like I said, everyone knows I have ADD, especially when it comes to games. So I'm like, okay, I have to collect these materials to get off the planet. and I need to find carbon, zinc, and all this other stuff. And I started making the metal sheets that I needed for the ship and whatnot. And then I got totally sidetracked. Found a cool looking creature that crawled into this hole, and then I look over to the right and there's a monolith, and I go up to it and it tells me about the universe. It doesn't tell you about the universe, but it says very like hippy dippy stuff. Very cool though, but it's and then it tells me that I learned the word like I forgot what the word was. I've learned like 3 words in this language that is just, I guess, spread all around the universe. There's monoliths on each planet, and each monolith you go up to and they teach you a word. And so when you see writing on these monoliths and all this other places, or you see it in the game, and again, I should preference this by I don't know anything about this game. Like the depth, I only know 2.5 hours. So if you've played longer than me and you're like, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, it's because I don't. And that's what's cool. I'm exploring. I don't know. I'm finding these monoliths. It's telling me I know the word for like unknown, and stuff, for this dead language that doesn't exist. That these monoliths were created by creatures a long time ago. They tell you that. So I'm exploring this planet, and then I see the monolith, and then, oh shit, there's a cave over here. And that's where I kind of ran into a problem, because I went into the cave exploring, and then I was like, I don't know where I'm at or how to get out. How do I restart? I don't think you can. So like, I was like, fuck, so don't do that. Don't get lost in a cave, because I don't know how the fuck you get out. I'm sure there's an easy way to like teleport or kill yourself, and that's the other thing. Yeah, there's like save points. So you find on the planet there's these like, it looks like abandoned stations, and it'll have a pole, and you go up to it, and you save your game. So if you go out in the world and a creature eats you, you'll be teleported right back to that, and you'll have whatever stuff you had on you when that happens. So think of it as like a cloning thing. And so I haven't even got off the planet yet, but like my friends have, and they've showed me like the moon in the distance I can absolutely go to and find out what's on that planet, what the life is like on that planet. I can explore that planet, see the fish on that planet. I'm just exploring the one I'm on now. Like my buddy is like, yeah, it was a few hours. I got off and I was like, I'm just collecting stuff, and I had a fucking great time doing that. I had a smile on my face the whole time, because it was like my own, my own little Star Trek. That's what it felt. That's what it felt like. Like you were, exploring this world. And I know as soon as I get to the next world, it's going to look different. It's going to feel different. There's going to be different fish, different creatures. They might attack me. They might attack each other. And there's a space station up above that I can kind of see, because there's a bunch of ships kind of going around it. I don't know what that is, but I want to know. I like I know that I can get off and do all these things, and that's fucking exciting, right?
Nice.
Yeah. Is this a game you think you'll get, or is it just not for you?
I'm gonna get it from GameFly and give it a run and see,
Okay.
like, because this is the thing, like, I don't know if I've ever played anything that was quite like this before.
I don't think anyone has, really.
Yeah, and I think that's the part of it. Some people are like, well, it's like Minecraft. I'm like, yeah, it looks like Minecraft, except it looks like it also has a purpose.
Right. Well, to be fair, Minecraft had a purpose, and it was to just use your imagination to build things.
Right.
It was like Legos. I fucking love Minecraft.
I
It wasn't for me as much. I think it definitely had the younger crowd's appeal to it. The look of it left something to be desired, but at the same time, it had to be like that. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, my thing is, I don't just give me a bunch of stuff on a blank canvas and say go. I don't, my brain doesn't do that. Give me a handful of tools and say, okay, here's what this is gonna be in the end. Here are some of the tools you need, and how you get there along the way is completely up to you.
Exactly. Now, see that with this, I know that guy the dude who spent $2,000 on a game that came out 10 days later, the fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And I'm doing hand quotations, beat the game in 30 hours, which, by the way, they completely patched. And I love their patch. Their patch said things like, we changed the way the universe works. Like, we fundamentally changed the way the universe works. Like, they made it so like you can't do that now.
Nice.
They patched it so you can't. He did, I don't know, some trick that kept getting him further and further. So that's impossible now. I'm sure you can if you like die hard want to get there, but what's the point of that?
Right. That's
It's a journey. It's
right. That's my thing. Like, I like the idea of like here is a goal, but take your time, have fun, do whatever.
This is your game to sit down and relax with. That's what this is going to be for me. This is going to be my zen. This is going to be, there's nothing to play. I'm bored. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Here's a game where I can just, run it. Like it has, like I said, at the beginning of the game, at least what I'm playing so far, get off the planet. That's my quest. And all these items it has quests attached to them. When I go to, like, for example, I found a remote location, and I went into the remote location, and there was this box, and it looks like someone destroyed this place, like someone rammed through it. But there was this locked thing, and I opened it up, and there was a part for my laser gun thing. Now, it's a laser cannon that you point at objects on the planet, it destroys them, and it gives you whatever it is. This was a thing to put on the gun to actually change it to a gun, so that when the robots come, if you destroy a bunch of things on the planet too much, and I don't mean the planet itself, you can mine as much as you want forever, but if you start destroying like the man-made stuff, or not man-made, but like, I don't know what, aliens or whatever, that's when they start coming after you. Well, this is a thing to change your gun fundamentally. So like there's a button that you press, like triangle, and it changes it to like a gun. And if I would have never went to that station, I would have not had that piece. And like, and before you can use it, you have to go mine 3 specific materials. And so like I'm out like looking at, oh, that's the zinc. Okay, that's what the zinc rock looks like. I got to go find more rocks like that. Oh, that's the helium one. I got to go find more rocks like that. Oh, now I have enough of each. I can now change my gun to that, and now I have that gun. You have life support. You have all this other stuff that like, so in order for me to stay out in the world, I have to find specific material, and it's not hard. That's what's everywhere. There's one thing, plutonium or whatever it is, and you zap, and then suddenly you have life support. You open it up, you click it, and it gives you like, I don't know, another 30 minutes or something.
Nice.
And so, yeah, like, and so it's like tiny little quests. But the big one right now is to get off the planet, and I'm sure after that, because I've watched a video where like it then sends you to a space station, and you're supposed to meet up and do a bunch of stuff. But that's what's fun about it, is it's just exploring. This is going to be my game where I even though I got a bunch of games in my backlog, I'm bored. I want to just fucking relax for a few hours after work and have a beer. This is going to be the game that I think I'm going to play. It's not competitive. You're not trying to, Overwatch is fun for Overwatch, Call of Duty's fun for Call of Duty, but this is going to be like just the chill game.
Nice.
Yeah, put on some music and hang out, but yeah, man, I'm going to be playing that for a while. So, let's see here. I think we're going to take a quick break. We're going to close to the break, so when we get back, we'll talk about the WWE. All right, again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. We'll see you guys all in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and so let's talk a little about the wrestling. I understand you got something in the mail?
Yeah, I was one of the people. I went to FYE.com and pre-ordered it, and the other day in the mail, I got my box of Bootios.
Nice. So, like, what is it? What kind of cereal is it?
It's Lucky Charms.
It's Lucky Charms?
It's Lucky Charms, yeah, which is totally fine by me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is it, like, legit just the same exact Lucky Charms?
No, they've changed it a little bit. I don't have the box in front of me, but, like, they have, like, part of it's, like, crowns, and I think there's hooves, and there's a handful. Sense. Yeah, it's basically, they've just kind of, they just have different shapes.
They changed the marshmallows, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's cool. That's cool.
And that's totally fine by me. Like, I would have wanted nothing else, I think.
Right, exactly. Oh yeah. So man, like I said earlier in the show, I've been on this weird I don't even know why it happened. I think there was just nothing on TV, and I was like, I want to watch some documentaries. So I've been kind of going through the Monday Night Wars, and there's one wrestler that I think I would have loved if I stuck with it, and that's CM Punk.
Yeah.
Just because, yeah, I like when he got out, and even though, and from what I understand, from what I've seen and what I've read, he wasn't. His stuff wasn't necessarily scripted when he did his pipe bombs, but he was given permission up to a point. Like I guess that one night when he came out and sat down and
Yeah.
he started talking, and they cut his mic off when he started talking about Vince McMahon and bullying.
Yeah, they were like, all right, now you've gone too far.
Exactly. Like they were like, go out and do what you can do because this is gold. But yeah, when he got to the bullying part, that's when they shut him off. And there's a lot of truth as well to what he was saying. Obviously, afterwards, he quit, or that whole thing.
Yeah.
And I've only kind of tiptoed into. I don't know much about the whole thing, but I find it so fascinating because looking at the period that I missed, he's the most interesting, and he's the one that I honestly could see if he was still in the industry, if he was still at WWE. I think he would be the new top dog. I think he'd be the guy that eclipses Cena.
Well, he did.
Right. That's what. I guess that's what I went back and watched the Money in the Bank match when he was in Chicago.
Yeah.
And he walked
man.
out with the belt.
Oh, what a match.
Yeah, like it gave me goosebumps. I'm like, this is something that we haven't seen in a while, or that I haven't. I've seen glimpses of it in some of the newer stuff, but I went back and watched that, and I watched like Daniel Bryan stuff, and like you could tell those two people, if Daniel Bryan was still wrestling, and CM Punk, like they just like stole the show, like the way he had control over the crowd in his hometown, and and he blew him a kiss at the end, and like Vince McMahon just played it up so well. He's the best villain.
Yeah. Vince does like Big Bad better than pretty much anybody because he just owns it.
Oh yeah, him and Shane McMahon are some of the best people in there. Shane McMahon for the physical stuff when he jumps off and he's thrown through the glass, and I've watched a lot of that. And I just the Vince McMahon stuff, like looking back, he's the best heel I think that WWE's ever had when he when he did the Montreal Screwjob or whatever, when he became that character, Mr. Vince McMahon or Mr. McMahon or whatever.
Yeah, when because he just, and the brilliance of that, to see that opportunity, and instead of setting the record straight, instead of trying to explain what happened, to say here's a chance to create the ultimate villain.
Yeah.
To come out and just say, well, Brett screwed Brett. Like
right.
that was the line where everybody just looked at that and went, oh my god. Like that, and off to the races we went.
Yeah, I was looking at like a lot of the What Culture stuff, and I liked how one of the guys compared it to the Muppet Show, and it is the Muppet Show.
Yeah.
I forgot where I heard it, but it is a live action Muppet Show, because if you think about it, all the silliness that happens behind the scenes, that the show almost breaks down, but it's not, and like all the craziness behind the scenes and in the show and during the show and after it's a live action Muppet Show.
Yeah, it's all part of the show. That's
right,
great.
right, and that's what's so cool. And so, like, I one of my the Vince McMahon thing, like for example, when he let the Undertaker put his daughter on the big Undertaker sign, and then later on, when he comes out and he takes off his hood and he goes, "It was me, Austin. It was me all along." Like.
And you're watching this and you're like, all right, well, this just got really creepy.
This is so, yeah, and it's such, I don't know, I just find it so entertaining.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I've just been spending an enjoyable time, because it's like there was no video games, anything that excited me. I've been playing Pokemon, stuff like that, but I was like, this is such a cool thing to go back to and revisit, and I can't wait to watch more of it, because he's a parody of himself, but there's some truth to what.
And
to how he acts.
And that's why it's so perfect.
Oh yeah, like when he's doing real interviews with like talking about the XFL and his ego and stuff, and like it's so over the top, but those are real. Those aren't bits, or I don't know what they call them in the wrestling industry. I've been learning so many terms now.
Yeah.
But like when it's real and he's not acting it up and he's getting in like real arguments with real reporters about the XFL, and you're like, oh, there's some truth to like him coming out and getting his ego all, So I don't know. I've been watching a lot of that where he's interacting with Steve Austin and everything else. And that's the thing. I stepped away when Steve Austin quit.
Yeah.
And now he's back in a good relationship with the company, of course, and everything. But I remember you telling me a while ago where he's like, he took his ball home or something like that.
He took his ball and went home. That was The Rock's words. And I'll tell you what, that promo was fantastic. The Rock doing his whole Austin can take his ball and go home, but this is home. And then, he would go on like the next year to Hollywood and make appearances on occasion, but just
Oh yeah, he has said, I will never quit. So he'll be back every WrestleMania. He'll pop in once or twice a year. And that's really cool because he doesn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool. He is off to bigger and crazier things, but he's also not the best thing about the show. He's so far removed from it that when he gets on TV, you can tell there's a big difference. He's got a lot of charisma and everything, but yeah, I don't know. It was so interesting watching wrestling back then compared to now.
Yeah.
And the chair shots to the face, and the Stone Cold Steve Austin flicking everybody off, like just the way he talked to everybody. It's so different than what it is now, and it made me wonder: do you ever think it's going to go back to that? Do you ever is there a point where they go, "Hey, this isn't making as much as we should. We know if we went that angle, it would bring in more people."
I don't think so because they're finding different ways. They're finding out that, and Raw has found this out in particular because it's still a 3-hour show with less of a roster. They said, oh my God, these guys have to go out and actually put on matches. And they found that it works.
Mm-hmm.
Like you put, we've seen Cesaro and Sheamus like 87 times now, but this match they had on Monday was one of their best.
Right.
And I would like to see a little more forward movement with that angle, but just the idea of like, let these guys go, send them out into the ring and say, do your craft.
Right.
And watch what happens. And that's what we're starting to see, and that's going to help make it a better product.
Oh yeah. What do you think they're going to do? What is this Braun Strowman? How do you pronounce his name?
Braun Strowman.
Strowman. What do you think they're leading to with this?
It's gonna be some old times. I love squash matches. I love that they're just bringing in random local dudes and he's just running through them in like a minute. I love this.
See, I'm not a fan of it, but I see what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
My buddy brought up something interesting, and I thought that'd be cool. Do you think they're setting him up for someone like Goldberg?
No.
No?
No.
Because they're making him like this unstoppable beast.
Well, because
what's going to stop him?
Because they haven't really had somebody like that. They've had people that have looked like that and seemed like that, but they've never really said, "Look, here's a guy who's just going to be the unstoppable force." They haven't really done somebody like that in a while. So I don't think I think if you're going to be like, "Oh, because you can't bring Goldberg in and then feed him to this guy." And the other way around. You can't bring Goldberg in and just have him beat him. Like, neither one of those works.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting. He was like, I think they might bring him in and because that's the thing. Why do you think he's eventually gonna come back?
I don't know. Never say never in this business, but I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
I listened to his interview with Steve Austin, and it was telling. Like, you could tell he was pissed the way things went down.
There's no love lost between Goldberg and Vince for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, we'll talk about it more next week, and I'm sure I'll have a lot more to talk about since I'll be watching a lot more. But yes, we gotta go though. So again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. Make sure you go to iTunes and give us a review, give us some stars, and tell us what you like. Send us an email, wegeekpodcast@gmail.com. Go to our Facebook group, We Geek Podcast, like and share and all that. Go to our Twitters, at We Geek Podcast, at the Logan Witt, at Adam Estep, and we'll see you guys all next week.
Hang on, I want to plug 2 things real quick before
absolutely.
we go. My buddy Mike, who I knew from college back in Sarasota, has started a YouTube review channel for anything fight related, boxing, MMA. He does really detailed analysis, and it's really awesome. His channel is called The Fight Geek, and it's really awesome. Check him out. And also, a big ups to Statesville for being a town of 20,000. February 4th, they are trying to start Statesville Comic-Con. There's a group here that's trying to do a Statesville Comic-Con, and I want to get in touch with them and see what I can do to help this, because it's an insane idea up here, and I love it.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, yeah. A friend of mine, guy who's all into kind of funny, turns out his brother is going to be at the UFC match, the pay-per-view.
Oh, nice.
On August 20th, so I'm going to be watching it with him, cheering on his brother. So I'm getting into a little bit of that side of it, too, so that's pretty cool. So, yes, awesome, good news. I'm going to, what's his channel? What's Mike's channel? The Fight Geek. The Fight Geek. All right, I'll be checking that out. Totally. All right, well, we will see you guys next week. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. Captain.